Hi guys, it's Alex or Gothic Fitness here and on Instagram, and I was not planning on filming a video today. I actually have a lot of stuff to do and I'm very busy. I have a lot of dog rescue things going on today. I'm taking a dog to be adopted as well as bringing two more dogs into the rescue today. I'm going to pan down real quick. That's Ginny. She's one of our dogs that's going to be adopted today, so we're really excited about that. But yeah, so I did not have time to film a YouTube video today. But something caught my interest on YouTube this morning and I figured, why not? I'm just gonna go ahead. I have like an hour to kill. I'm gonna pop on here. I'm gonna make this video real quick. So you guys probably know that I follow Obese to Beast. I talked about him pretty regularly, share stuff on my Instagram channel, things like that. He is somebody who was very heavy and lost a lot of weight. And he talks a lot about the body positivity movement, which if you guys know, again, or have been watching my channel for a while, me and the body positivity movement kind of have some issues with each other, which is fine, but I'm going to make a full video about that later. But today on his channel, he did a reaction to this girl named Coco's video about body positivity. So that video itself was very good. I'm going to try to link his video down there reacting to hers as well as the video that I'm going to be talking about today. But so I went to her video because I really liked what she had to say and I ended up following her. So later on during the day while I was driving around, she released another video that I decided to watch talking about plastic surgery. So I got kind of fired up about it and I'm going to just give you guys my opinions. I'm also going to link her video below in the description so you can check out her original video as well, because I don't have time to actually film a video where I'm reacting to everything, and it's mostly just her personal opinion, so I'm not going to really react to her personal opinions because those are her opinions, but I'm kind of going to talk about why this kind of attitude that people have had towards her drives me absolutely crazy. So, first of all, in her body positivity video, she made a TikTok of her. She's a pretty thin girl, but she is definitely curvy. She's, you know, got a booty on her, but she is squeezing her fat. And to me, it was actually kind of relatable because it's right where I have my fat that I am very insecure about. And she's squeezing it and like talking about how she like is very grateful and appreciative of her fat because it gives her her curves. And in this TikTok, everybody was just reaming her, telling her that she is not curvy, that she is way too skinny, way too straight size, you know, whatever. And basically all of these health at any size, body positivity movement type people were commenting on her channel and on her TikTok saying that, you know, she didn't have a right to be uncomfortable in her skin because she was skinnier than they were. Which, I mean, again, I'm going to make a whole other video about this because it's so much to unpack that I can't even, like, start. But in a movement called body positivity, you would think that anybody is allowed to be positive about their body, regardless of how straight-sized or how skinny or how fat you are, that anybody should be able to be positive, not just the people that fit into that movement and not just the people who are morbidly obese. Now, the second video she posted kind of went along with the exact same theme, where she actually recently got a nose job. So, girl, I mean, I don't have a huge nose, but I've got the bump. Like, it's definitely not a cute button nose. So, like, I feel you where the nose issues come into play. At this point in time in my life, I personally have never gotten plastic surgery. If I did get plastic surgery, I'm definitely not against it, but I don't think I would get a nose job just because personally it's become a thing that like my husband really likes my nose for whatever reason, and so I, you know, it's a thing that it's grown on me. But for me, when I lost weight, I actually, my breast size went down quite a bit. And as I continue to lose weight, you know, that's going to continue, and especially going through and pursuing bodybuilding and pursuing powerlifting, usually as you gain muscle, lose fat, things kind of deflate. So I haven't made any decisions at all at this point in time, but breast augmentation is something that I have considered and, you know, may consider in the future. But as of right now, I do not have plastic surgery. So this poor girl, Coco, she goes and she gets her nose done, and it's like, it's like a pretty long, she doesn't have the bump that I do, but it's pretty, like, she's like a pretty big nose, which I personally, like, I love big noses. Like, that's my jam. You can ask my husband, like, any dude that has a big nose, I'm like super into. And so I loved her nose before. Like, I just thought she looked adorable, cute, whatever. I would not have looked at her nose and been like, oh, like, she needs to get a nose job, or like, or even like, I would have not looked at her face and noticed her nose first. Like, in the video that Obese to Beast posted, I did not like look at that video and be like, oh, that girl, like, her nose is crazy. But she chose, there was something that bugged her. She chose to get a nose job. And really, it's not super dramatic. It just took it down just a little bit. It looks really natural. I think it looks really great, really nice. Again, I didn't think anything looked bad about her before, but everybody has personal preferences. So in this video, she talks about how she received a lot of hate for her getting a nose job, specifically because she was influencing younger women to get plastic surgery. And she talks a lot in this video about how, her getting plastic surgery is not necessarily influencing anybody else to get plastic surgery. She's not going out there telling people, like, you should get plastic surgery, or telling people, like, like, anybody with a big nose should get plastic surgery or anything like that. She literally was just something that she didn't like about herself, and she had the means to change it. She also goes into detail saying that plastic surgery is not something that you make a decision on, such as like dyeing your hair. Like, obviously there's more ramifications. Anytime you go under anesthesia, you have a risk for complications, and she is very clear about that in her video. But she does go on to continue to explain that basically you only live once, is what she says, and that your body is kind of like your avatar. Like, if you were like in a video game and you had your avatar and you get to pick whatever you want it to look like. I think a lot of people, I pick my hair color because I like my hair color like this. I get my tattoos because I like my tattoos. I think they make me look nice, but my perception on what looks nice has been molded by what other people look nice throughout the course of my lifetime. So I'm not just like, nobody lives in a vacuum. Nobody lives in this perfect little area where I'm just like, all of my decisions are completely my own. I'm not influenced by anything, and I'm just going to only get tattoos because I want to get them, or I'm only going to do my hair because I want to get my hair done. Like, honestly, like, if there was no expectation of looking a certain way, I feel like my tattoos I might still get, maybe just because it's like art, and I like went to art school, and so I could kind of like translate to that, like, okay, art goes on the wall and I like want it on my body, so whatever. But like, I probably wouldn't spend as much time on my makeup as I do, and I probably wouldn't do my hair, and I, like, whatever, like, because if there was no expectation for you to look a certain way, or for you to dress up nice, or present yourself nice, or if you didn't see people in magazines or see people on TV that you thought looked nice and you wanted to look like that, most people probably wouldn't go through the things that they go through, and spend the money that they spend and take the time that they take to make themselves appear a certain way. That is what aesthetics is. But you can translate this to anything. If we didn't see magazines that showed beautiful homes, like Better Homes and Gardens, if we didn't have HGTV, if, I didn't have a bunch of friends on Facebook that were posting all the pictures of their plants, making me want to buy a million plants, I probably wouldn't spend the time buying a million plants and then taking care of them and watering them. I probably wouldn't paint my walls. I probably wouldn't have like a backsplash on my kitchen counter, because it doesn't matter, because you are not influenced. So everything in life is based on what influences you and your personal aesthetics, and those things combined. And that's basically what she's saying. She is also, I believe, Dutch, so English is not her first language. So I think in a couple places she was trying to explain this, and it might have been a little bit not the way somebody would have said it if English was their first language. But I'm not stupid enough to like not take that into consideration like some of the people in the comments did, but we'll get there. So anyway, so she goes on to say that, like, basically, if you love your nose, or you love your body, or you love whatever, if you like being fat, if you like being thin, if you like whatever, it's your body autonomy. You should be able to do with your body whatever you want, whatever makes you feel good. And no, you should not feel pressured by society, pressured by beauty standards, feel like you have to do something that you don't want to do. But if the influences that have happened across the entirety of your life have made you desire a specific thing for you, we have the technology, we have the ability at this point in time to do things that we might have not been able to do in the past, that we might have just been stuck with. This is as far as I know. I don't like my voice, which I love making YouTube videos, but the one thing I wish I could change is I wish I could use somebody else's voice, because I really don't like my voice. To my knowledge, there is no way to change your voice. There's not a surgery you could have to make your voice sound different, but if I could have that done, I probably would, because it is something that I just don't like about myself. I'm very self-conscious about it, and everybody that I talk to, and when I say everybody, I mean my husband and my mom, so they're probably super biased, but they say that there's nothing wrong with my voice and that my voice sounds fine. I hope a bunch of people make fun of me in the comments and tell me my voice is stupid, because then they'll be proving me right. But it's one of those things where if I had that ability, I would totally change that, because it's something that makes me insecure. So yes, I agree that, like, if somebody in elementary school hadn't made fun of me for my voice, like back then, or if I hadn't, not made the better choir when I was in the children's choir or whatever, like maybe I wouldn't have had those insecurities, but those experiences happened, so therefore I do, and therefore I would like to make that change. But it's not necessarily something that anybody is forcing me to do. The same way nobody forced her to get that nose job, or she doesn't look at herself in the mirror now and go, oh my gosh, like, I used to just love my other nose, but other people just like it better this way, so I had to get this done. Like, that's not, she's looking at herself in the mirror being like, man, I look cute now, I got a cute nose, I'm happy with myself, and she feels good about herself. The same way I feel good about myself when I get a new tattoo, or I feel good about myself when I get my hair done, or when I feel good about myself when I do my makeup all nice and fancy. The amount of people in the comments that were telling her that she was, which again, I don't know this person very well. I communicated with her briefly in her comments, and I've only watched 2 of her videos, so maybe there's other context here that I don't have. But from what I have seen, she seems like a totally fine, reasonable young lady, and the explanations that she was providing, I feel like she's very well spoken, especially for English being her second language. And people were saying, you were so conceited, and you're so what's the word, like, just like all about looks, and very like have low self-esteem, you've always had low self-esteem, like blah blah blah, just like tearing into this poor girl when she's just giving her experience about plastic surgery and like how it helped, like it was good for her, and how the experience was good for her. And to me, I understand that plastic surgery is a little bit taboo, and a couple of times that I have mentioned, like in front of my mom, like, oh, like maybe I would possibly get a boob job in the future if if I felt inclined to do so because of my weight loss or whatever. My mom's like, oh no, you're perfect the way you are, like blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, but you said that back when I had like double D boobs when I was bigger. You said I was perfect the way I was, and now I lost weight and I have like super flat chest, and you're saying I'm also perfect the way I am. So at that point in time, it's like, your outside appearance does not change the person inside. So yes, I am perfect the way I am, perfect the way I am. Like, I love myself, I want to take care of myself, I want to do what's best for myself. But if there's something aesthetically that I would like to change, like, then, people should have the right to be able to do that without being shamed or being told that they are conceited or anything like that, because that's just not true. And if it is true, then you could say the same thing about the clothes people choose to wear, or the hair, or like that they dye their hair. I honestly think the only reason people treat plastic surgery differently than like getting your hair done or whatever is because, number one, there is more risk involved. Not that there's no risk involved, because I have had the shit burnt out of my head getting my hair bleached before, so like still there is risk. And same thing with tattoos, like you can get MRSA. If you go to somebody who reuses their needles, you can get HIV. Like, there is still risk with getting a tattoo, but the implied risk of getting actual surgery and going under anesthesia is that you could theoretically die. Now, again, the percentage of that actually happening is super, super low, and that's why you do your research. You go to a surgeon that is really well reviewed, and then you talk to and have a consultation with and make sure you do all that. And that's the thing, is she's never implying like anybody should just rush out and get plastic surgery right away. Like, she's very like, open about like, do your research, make sure this is something you really want to do, and make sure that you were happy with the person you picked before you go through with it. So all of that being said, I just don't understand why certain things are fine for people to do. Putting on makeup, getting their ears pierced, dyeing their hair, getting tattoos, wearing certain outfits, like all that stuff is perfectly fine. But getting plastic surgery is viewed as being vain and being conceited and having low self-esteem. Like, girl, if you have to put makeup on, I could say the same thing. You have to put makeup on, you must have low self-esteem. You must feel like you need to cover up something and change something about yourself. You must not love yourself. Like, do you see how stupid that sounds? And the fact that we are putting down other women, and like a lot of the comments in here were women putting down other women, putting down this woman, saying that she, is just so terrible because she had this nose job. So after all of that, me and her talked a little bit in the comments. I basically told her I completely agree with her. Again, I would not personally go get a nose job, but a lot of people wouldn't personally be covered in tattoos. So it's just a difference in opinion. But I think that whatever she wants to do that makes her feel good about herself, that she can do safely and has the resources to do so, she should go for it. Some dude, of course it's some dude, the amount of times that a dude on YouTube or a dude on Instagram tries to tell a woman how other women feel, oh boy. Okay, so this dude says in the comments on her YouTube channel, well, of course, you described getting a nose job as changing your avatar in a video game. Of course, that example is not going to go over well with women. Alright, dude, listen up. You know how many hours us bitches have spent playing The Sims, changing our avatars, making our noses bigger and smaller, making our waist bigger and smaller, changing our hairstyle, adding different makeup, putting on those tattoos that are just like one big sleeve and it's like a bunch of random stuff you can't even tell what it is, changing our outfits, changing how tall we are, making it look like ourselves but our idealized version of ourselves. Oh man, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours have been spent doing that, and you're trying to tell me that a girl is not going to relate to that analogy. First of all, you're being sexist. Saying that a woman is not going to relate to something about a video game just because it's a woman is unbelievably sexist. I would have you know that I worked at GameStop for 8 years. I have spent probably more time actually building my characters than I have spending actually playing the video games, because to me that's part of it that I like. I like doing building your own characters, using the character creators. Like, there's like a game called Spore that we used to play on the computer that literally was just like making different little creatures and animals by like, evolution. But like, that's the kind of stuff that I like. Animal Crossing, building your own house, picking your character's t-shirt out. In the newest Animal Crossing, you can actually have more customization available than in the previous Animal Crossing games. That is the stuff that girls, if we're going to be stereotypical, tend to like about video games, is the art, the aesthetics, being able to customize things. Girls, again, if we're being stereotypical, tend to not like to just go into a video game and just shoot shit and like blow stuff up, and that is like the only appeal of playing a video game to them. So, again, as somebody who loves Halo and played Halo like crazy when I was a high schooler, I think just grouping girls together, grouping women together and saying, of course women are not going to respond to this thing positively because you used video games as a reference. I think that that is sexist. I think that is ignorant. I think that that is being very, very, very small-minded. So I hope that this guy that I kind of started to fight with him a little bit in the comments, but I decided to make a whole ass video about it because why not? But also, in addition to all of that, we as women should be able to do whatever we want with our body. We've spent so much of our time in the past and even into today being told or having our bodies dictated by what men think our bodies should look like, what men think that we should do, what the perfect aesthetic is. I'm sure that you guys have seen like the pictures that guys posted. They're like, oh, I don't like a girl that like has like tons and tons of makeup on. I like a girl that's more natural. And then they post a natural looking girl that's got like full concealer, blush, red lipstick, eyebrows are done perfect, mascara, like super long, you know, and they're like, oh, I like more natural girls. It's like, that's not natural. And then they see a girl wearing no makeup, like I was about 10 minutes ago, and they go, man, that girl looks ugly, that girl looks, you know, whatever. Like, we are never going to be able to live up to the expectation that men have for us, because number one, all men like something different. I'm pretty sure that my husband likes the aesthetic of me looking like just as like what do you call that, like I guess masculine as possible, while still maintaining feminine features. So he likes my hair being short, he likes when I used to have my eyebrow pierced, he likes when I wear just like jeans and a t-shirt, and that's like his favorite like aesthetic that I have. I personally, you know, like my personal style is I like to be like kind of androgynous, but also like androgynous as far as my hair and my style goes, but then also having like really crazy makeup, like lots of jewelry, like that's kind of like my thing. And then there are guys that like look at me and tell me that I look like a I don't know what words I can say on YouTube, but that I look like a lesbian basically, and that they would never, you know, do anything with me, which I'm like, cool, like nobody asked you to. So but the whole point of all that is that there are going to be people, whether it's men, your mom, your friends, random people on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, that are not going to like your aesthetic. They're not going to like the choices you make. They might just be jealous. They might have hated their nose their whole life and they like wanted to get a nose job and they can't afford it. You know, or like me, like it could be a person who like loved your nose before and then is like, why'd you do that? Doesn't matter. Literally doesn't matter, because people should be able to make their own choices about their body and do whatever they want with the resources that they have. So yeah, that's been my rant about how people on YouTube are rude, and how if you want to do something, whether it's lose weight, gain weight, dye your hair, get tattoos, get a nose job, get a boob job, whatever, as long as you're being safe about it and as long as you're taking care of yourself and as long as you're doing it because you want to do it, then I support you 100%. So that's basically it. We're going to have another video coming up here soon when I have a little bit more time to film about how I feel about the Health at Any Size movement. I know I have an older video that I posted probably almost 2 years ago. You can go back and watch that now, and then you can kind of see when I post a new one how my thoughts have kind of changed, or maybe how the things that happened to me in the past back then have affected my thoughts today. But yeah, that's basically it for today. I'm going to go ahead and upload this right away so you guys will have some new content, and then look for a new video next week, and then I will have I'm waiting on one more thing to happen, and then I'm going to have my conclusion of my first meet video. I know it seems like I just left you guys hanging. I did not. I'm just waiting on one thing to happen, and then I'm going to finish editing that video and get it uploaded. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you don't already follow me at or on Instagram at Gothic Fitness, and as always, live healthy, die happy, and leave a pretty corpse. Thanks guys. Bye.